welcome back to bmxultra.com and telling us about the exciting new products at Clutch. Do you want to tell us what got you into carbon? I think last time we spoke to you, there was only the headsets, and now all of a sudden, carbon everything.
Yeah, to a point. I was talking to a couple people, and people coming up to the pits asking if I was ever going to do like carbon rims and forks or expand on the clutch line itself. So I started doing research, and then came up with a rim and a fork. And right now everything's been going really good with them. Forks are in stock in at least 2 finishes right now. There's going to be a total of 7 different finishes that they'll come in a couple at least different colorways for the logos.
Oh, you mean the rims? Rims are in stock.
Yeah, for the rims. The forks will come in 4 different finishes, and then I can do custom colors. There'll be an upcharge, but I haven't figured out what that's going to be yet. So like if someone wanted an all white fork or a red one or something like that, we'd be able to do it.
So can you tell us some of the details on the rims?
They are a lower profile than most. These are a 27 millimeter height with a 30 millimeter width. The 20-inch ones are clincher rims, so they're tubeless compatible. They are significantly lighter than some of the alloy ones that are out right now. They're pretty stiff, of course, being carbon more rigid. What my local rider that's got a set on her bike, as soon as we put them on, had a significant difference in how she cornered and stuff. I mean, so yeah, they're doing the job.
Nice. So you've raced before a while back. What's the difference between a carbon rim and an alloy rim from a racer's perspective?
Well, the last set of alloy wheels I had were a profile built up with a Sunwrinkle Envy rim, and I loved that setup. They were great. I mean, the Envies were way better than the Sunrhino lights. When I started running a carbon rim 2 years ago, there's a huge difference just in acceleration. You don't have any give or anything in that wheel, which is a part of the power transfer and everything you want. With the rigid frame with the twist in the bottom bracket, if you can stiffen up your wheel, I mean, it's a huge difference on it. Yeah, it just feels a lot different, and then especially cornering, it's definitely more rigid and stiffer. The action, if you're cutting and whatnot, you can instant.
You get a little bit more feedback through the carbon too, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You get a bit more feedback through the carbon as well, don't you? So you get you feel a lot more of the lumps and bumps, but that's a good thing. It's much quicker and faster. It's just a little bit of a different feel to the alloy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, of course, but it's just the way they ride. I mean, out of the gate and stuff, you feel like you're accelerating faster because you don't have that flex. And it's weird because you'd think that an alloy wheel built up 36 spoked and everything is already stiff enough. You go to carbon and it's even more rigid. And then especially in the corners, I mean, you feel a huge difference with it too. I never wanted to run carbon. I had opportunity to, and I'll never go back to an alloy rim for racing. So,
do you have to look after them any differently to an alloy rim?
If you're running pads, you should, because you can get a rock stuck in the pad or something like that because of the grooves. It'll tear right through your rim. Otherwise, just if you crash or anything, check it, make sure you don't have any cracks or chips or anything in it. Other than that, I mean, I haven't had any problem with my carbon rims, and I've been running them for 2 years.
All right. What sizes do you have available now?
Right now in stock, I only got 20-inch. There will be a 24-inch and an OS 20 coming soon, and then working on doing a smaller, like expert size rim for the smaller kids. So.
And you're talking about up to 7 color options?
Yeah, the finishes.
Finishes.
There's going to be like a UD finish where it's gloss or matte black. There's a 3K finish, which is your most popular, like carbon weave. That will be in a gloss or a matte. And there's a 12K where the weave actually looks bigger. That will be in a gloss and a matte. And then there will be a marble finish where it's a gloss with like a white marble swirl in it, which is pretty tricked out. So I'm probably going to get one of those sets in the next few weeks just to see how it is. But that would be pretty tricked out on a bike build.
You've been doing a lot of traveling, displaying the rims on the road. What kind of feedback have you been getting from customers and potential customers?
We went and did some locals, and I took them out a couple weeks ago. In the fork that we got in testing right now, and everyone was just amazed by the quality of the product and everything. So, Rockford last weekend was the first national that we took them and set them up with the frames and whatnot. And I mean, everyone was already going crazy over the frames and waiting for them to show up. But now with the rims and the fork, I mean, everyone's just, in awe. And now they want to know when they can get the fork. But of course, they're not done testing yet. So, yeah, really, really good feedback.
You have to start doing high-end complete bikes soon.
Yeah, well, that's kind of in the talks, but I know with Clutch within the next few months, I'll probably have at least some samples of like a brake and a brake lever, C post, C clamp, bottom bracket, a disc brake adapter for our style dropouts. I know Box makes one that is adaptable, but it only works for 3 different hubs. Onyx and Box hubs. The one that we're doing is going to be adaptable for all style hubs. So you can run a profile on there if you want, or a remix, or anything.
Let's talk a little bit more about your fork. You were saying that you're still testing them, but so they're a one-piece carbon structure, steerer to dropout?
Yep, all carbon.
And what kind of weight should people expect from them?
For a weight, I'm guessing I don't have a digital scale in the shop to actually weigh them, but I would guess they're going to be around like the 19-ounce mark for a pro fork.
That's pretty light for a pro fork, isn't it?
Yeah, Supercross and Speedco, or Supercross and Speedline, they got the full carbon deal. They're around that same weight. So, but I know with some of these other brands with the aluminum steer tube, these are significantly lighter if you hold them both up. So,
and they come with a built-in stem lock.
they have a aluminum insert that's bonded inside the steer tube with that goes about halfway down, and then it's got a longer bolt. So that actually helps also with when you're tightening your stem down to help with preventing from crushing the steer tube, which a lot of people have problems with because they just over tighten this stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that. The Pro Fork comes with what, 20 mil dropouts?
Yep, all the forks will come with 20 mil dropouts, but they'll come with the adapters for a 3As.
And what sizes are they available in, or will they be available in?
There will be smaller, like expert size. There will be 20-inch, OS 20, and 24-inch, which will all run it tapered, but then there will also be the normal steer tube where it's just 1.1 inch all the way through.
You said I think 4 finishes for the forks.
Yeah, there will be a 3K and a gloss and a matte, and then there will be a UD and a gloss and a matte.
Is it possible to actually get them done in a marble if people want to match their marble rims?
Yes. right now the manufacturer is working with me where I can kind of mix and match what I do with sizes and finishes. If I do the marble finish, which I'm pretty sure people are going to start asking for once I have the rims in stock, I got to do a whole run in that finish.
Right.
I can't just mix and match them. So
Yeah.
it'll happen. It'll be cool. It'll be something different that no one's done yet.
You planning on doing any more carbon products?
No. I'm in the last interview, I said I understand with forks and with rims, and that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
No frames, um, nothing, no cranks,
Yeah.
carbon cranks or like that. So
It sounds like you got some pretty exciting times ahead with Clutch, with all the products you were talking about, and the carbon rims and forks. So rims are available now. You've got more on the way, and you were saying that the forks should be available soon. So if people were keen on the forks, how long would they be waiting?
once we open up pre-booking, it'll probably be about 30 days, 35 days, ETA. So pretty quick turnaround.
And where can people buy the Clutch products from?
Gear Head BMX. we're only doing everything exclusive through the shop here. I mean, there's no point in distributing at this time unless it's overseas. So, and I go to all the races anyway. So, want it delivered? Hit me up.
So Gearhead's a Facebook page, isn't it? It's not a website.
Yeah, just Facebook, and then traveling to races and stuff. No website or anything like that. It's pretty low key. So,
Um, maybe I should ask you some questions that aren't Clutch related, because I mean you go to a lot of the race meetings lately, and just wanted to sort of get a bit more perspective from a spectator's point of view. Although it sounds like you've been pretty busy and may not have actually got to watch much of the racing, but the new track at Tulsa, you were down at Tulsa recently, weren't you?
yeah, a month or so ago. Um, it is amazing. I toured it before they had the track even built and the inside finished and whatnot, which was just mind blowing in its own. But now that they got everything set up and held the national and everything, it was a awesome atmosphere. The anywhere around the track, you can see everything. I mean, the facility is top notch, and that's what they were going for. Best in the country. I mean, Hall of Fame, and you got everything right there. So it was really cool.
Did you check out the Hall of Fame while you were there?
I did not.
Uh,
I didn't have a chance to. First, I set up my pit outside, and then we ended up moving inside the gates and by the grandstands. And I had people coming to the tent and riders and stuff like that. So we were busy. I was busy the whole weekend. I mean, everyone else got to go do whatever. So
it's a bit of a different setup, isn't it, with the with the roof? But the spectators are outside, aren't they?
no, the grandstands on the one side of the track are still underneath the
Oh,
awning.
okay.
So I mean, you're out of the elements and stuff. Just depends where the sun's at. You get roasted, but other than that, everything's covered. The vendors like JNR and like Full Tilt, and those guys, they set up outside with their trailers and whatnot in the parking lot. But vendors row and the grandstands and everything, that was all inside underneath the awning.
So is it different in comparison to, say, a Rockford, where um, everything seemed to be a lot more compacted and packed in around the track, where Rockford sort of spreads out a bit?
No, the way that they did this track is really cool. I mean, it's a full blown like outdoor sized track. The only thing is, you got the concrete wall next on the outside of the first straight and the last straight, but the track sits down on the ground, so it doesn't matter where you're at. You're like looking in, you can see over the berms and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool setup, and they really put a lot of thought and design work into it. The track is huge. A lot of people, it took a little bit to get used to, but once you got used to it, I mean, the turns are really big and wide open. They're all concrete, so they
Uh,
they haul through there.
They managed to pull quite a few international riders there. Have you got any new favourite riders to watch?
Uh, Besides my buddies that I know, Neek, hung out and talked to him um, late Saturday and Sunday a little bit here and there. So I've always been a fan. He's been showing up to the races, and I know the next race he's coming over for is Salt Lake. Um, but I always love watching him ride. Uh, I'm a huge fan of Isaac Kennedy and Souza right now. Those guys are really good. McLean too. All those guys are awesome. The female side of it, um, Sakakibara, she's really fun to watch. Smolders is amazing. Um, and then the younger U.S. riders that are coming up, like Delaney Vaughn, and those girls they're really putting on a good show. It's almost more exciting to watch the girls race than what it is guys at sometimes. But all three classes, even the Vet Pro class, is stepping up. Upshaw is doing a pretty good push, and Barry's on fire right now. So it's enjoyable to watch those classes again.
I did notice the Mosquito's been having a big run of bad luck, so it'd be interesting to see if he can pull out of that rut.
Yeah, he's always been fast. I met him a couple times years and years ago when I lived in Orlando because he was down there. Um, Great guy and everything, just super fast. Um, like a couple years ago, him and Tyler, they were, you know, bumping bars all season long, and Tyler came out with the 3 titles. Then Barry threw his head in the mix, and Suarez ended up winning last year, and now Barry's like full throttle. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the title race, even like with the elites right now. Um, Neek is sitting first or second, I believe, and McLean's in first right now. And with Connor not um, racing right now because of injury, and Joris moving back over to France, it's mixing stuff up.
Um, there was a US guy that podiumed at the Supercross, Cam Wood.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
he's good.
haven't heard much of him. Well, I have, but haven't seen much of his racing. It's good to see the Americans get back in the mix. With Connor not being around. Are there other US riders in the pro scene we should keep an eye on?
I would say Picardo. He was always quick as an amateur and stuff, and he came out pretty good in his first year elite. But he had some bad luck last year, and I think at the beginning of this year, injuries. But he's always in the mix. He just needs to get back in his groove. Cam Wood is on fire. He's being trained by Sam, so he's got kind of like the same style and everything. Cam Larson's fast too. He is quick. So those three young guns coming up through the ranks right now. I mean, they're gonna, and then the foreigners that are coming over now. It's, I mean, anything can happen. You can't guarantee anyone's going to be in the main at any time. So
Here's a question. Here's a question for you. Who do you think will be the next USA um, rider to take out the USA BMX title?
oh man, I have to say for elite, if it keeps going the way it is, it's going to be up to McLean and Neek.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I mean, so Connor was the last American to win that title. So who do you think would be the
oh,
next American to win it? It probably won't happen this year. Obviously, it's pretty flooded with foreigners. But just the prediction for the next USA-based rider or USA-born rider to win.
I'd have to Cam Wood probably. I would think he's got a shot at being the next U.S. #1 elite rider. Larson, he's good too though. So it's,
Hard to
but
pick.
they would.
All right. All right, we've been talking for about 20 minutes. I reckon we'll just leave it there. I'll leave some questions for our next catch up, and we can pick your brain about your products, but also what's happening on the ground over in the States, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, or I've been traveling all over. I think we've been to like 8 different nationals. I can't tell you how many different states and everything. For even locals and qualifiers. So Right now, our outdoor season here started, so this weekend is actually the first day qualifier, and then goes all the way into August, and we got the nationals and gold cups in between. So that's what we'll be doing for the next couple months. But next month into August, I'll have some new stuff around we can chat
Okay,
about.
sounds good. All right, stay in touch. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.